Morning, class. My name's Adam Renault. This morning we're going to be talking about ladder safety, in particular extension ladder safety. Okay? There's a few things we're going to cover off, and we need to know certain things about the ladder. Okay? First of all, what is a ladder? Anybody help me with that? No? Go ahead, Z.
A ladder is something you use when you're not able to access a specific level, meaning if there's no stairs or elevator for you to get to that point, you use a ladder.
Okay, and how do we use a ladder? Like, what is it though? Something we climb?
Yeah, it's something you would climb.
Okay, so we're gonna have to climb up it. Alright, so a ladder is something that's gonna give us access between two levels when we don't have any access. Okay, sounds good. Is it movable?
Yes.
Okay, it can be. Sometimes it's fixed. Okay, who needs a ladder? How about us in construction? Do we need a ladder?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. How about firemen when they gotta save that cat out of the tree? Okay, they got that extension ladder on the back of their truck, right? Why do we use ladders? Well, Z's already mentioned that we use it for access between levels where we don't have a set of stairs or an elevator or something like that. Okay, why else might we use a ladder?
Egress.
Access and egress, that's a good one. Okay. Who had a treehouse when they were a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Nikki had a treehouse. Okay, we had two kinds of ladders, right? We had the wooden one we could climb up, or who nailed just the 2x4s to the tree? Okay? Not the greatest ladder, but in a pinch it worked, right? Okay? So where are we going to use ladders? Well, we just mentioned maybe the fireman got to get out of a tree. Okay? What's another example?
Going up the side of the building.
Going up the side of a building. Sure, you guys have seen them on the back of Timmy's. They got the ladder that goes, it's fixed to the structure, it's got the cage around it, it gets you up on the roof. Okay, well, how would we use them for work?
Construction.
Yeah, construction, in particular for us, how would we use them?
Get on top of the platform we just built.
Yeah, we get on top of the platform we just built. Okay, climbing up onto a scaffold, it gives us access between levels. Okay? When? Well, we've covered that part of that off already. When we don't have it other means, okay, to get up and down, stairs aren't available. We don't have a ladder, okay? We don't have an elevator, obviously on a job site, right? But it may be easier to just set up a ladder than to go form up a set of stairs or build a ramp. Okay, sometimes a ladder is just quick. The only thing with the ladder is that they're not always safe. Okay? How do we use a ladder? Safely. What does safely mean when it comes to using a ladder? Let's talk about that. Up here on the board, okay, so we have extension ladders, okay? So safely, they have to meet a certain criteria, okay? They have to meet CSA standards here, okay? For a construction site, they have to be grade number 1. Okay, that means they have to be very strong, very heavy duty. Grade number 1, construction grade ladder for heavy duty is good for 375-pound man. Now, none of us in here are that big, but you'll find guys that big on a job site. Okay? They have to be free from loose, damaged, or defective rungs. There can be no damage with your ladder. If it's broken at all, what do you think you should do with it?
Tag it, and throw it.
Yeah, get rid of it. Tag it, throw it out, bring it to the attention of your supervisor. Okay, get a new piece of equipment. Okay, the rungs need to be spaced 300 millimeters or 1 foot on center. If they're not, it's not deemed a ladder. Okay? Now, there's safe distance from electrical conductors. Okay? It says 3 meters or 10 feet. Okay? That really, there is a variable there. It all depends on how much wattage or voltage is running through that line, how far away you should be. Okay? If it's very, very high voltage, you'll be more than 10 feet away, but your supervisor will let you know that. Okay? Chances are they'll have shut it down or contained it somehow so that you don't have to worry about it. But we always want to try and stay away at least 10 feet from any power lines that are running close to our job. Okay? We're going to set it up on firm, level footing or ground. If the ground is soft, muddy, we're gonna put the feet of the ladder onto a mud sill. Okay, what's a mud sill?
Broken piece of wood.
Yeah, it's gonna be a piece of wood that's wider than our ladder. It's gonna spread the load at the base of the ladder out. Okay? There's a rule of thumb for how to set it up. Okay? There's a way we're gonna set up a ladder to make sure it's always on the correct angle so it's easy to climb. If it's easy to climb, there's less chance you'll what? Fall. Okay? And falling is the #1 killer in construction right now. So that's what we definitely need to avoid. So if we take all these precautions and we set it up, there's a 3-to-1, 4-to-1 rule. Okay? I know this is difficult to see, but I gave you guys a handout. Okay? And if we go to the second page here, you're gonna see the guy attempting to go up the ladder. They're mentioning about 3-point contact. If you go to the page 14, which is the page after that, you're gonna see right here the example of 3-to-1, 4-to-1. Okay? So what this man up here is doing, because I don't know how well you guys can see it, I'm gonna flick off the light at the front. You can see he's standing there with his arms out and his boots are touching the bottom. All people, okay, I'm gonna turn the light back on. All people are proportionate the same way. It doesn't matter how big and tall you are or how short and round you are, everybody's the same proportions. And if you set a ladder up so that it touches the tip of your boots and your hands, then you'll be at the right angle, that 3-to-1, 4-to-1 rule. Okay, there's an example for your portable access ladders. Okay, this is an extension ladder set up appropriately. Okay, some of the rules there, one of them says that there has to be overlap in the middle. Can anybody tell me how much overlap? Yeah, at least 3 rungs. Okay, if not more. The more the better, the more stable the ladder will be. If we're gonna climb up a ladder and we need access to a level above, we need to have a certain amount of ladder above that level so it's easy for us to get on and off. It would be very hard if we had to crouch down and then try and get onto the ladder. Okay? Or what if I put too much ladder? Somebody might keep climbing and it might flip over. Okay? So we need to make sure we have enough on the top to get on and off. So we're looking for 900 millimeters. Okay? 3 feet exactly. Okay? Before we even go up this ladder, we've put the feet onto a mud sill to make sure it was secure there. We've got our 900 millimeters or better above the deck. We have 3 rungs of overlap. Okay, what else do we need to do? Tie it off, secure it, both top and bottom, especially if we're gonna leave it there, okay, as a temporary access point. Okay, so it extends at least 3 feet above the upper deck, okay? There's a new rule right here, 6 inches behind each rung. Why do you think we need 6 inches behind a rung?
Foot space, you don't bang it.
Yeah, we need enough room for our toe to sit on the rung and not hit the wall behind. If it hits behind, we won't have enough foot on the rung. Could be unsafe. Okay? The landing surface at the top and the bottom, they have to be free from any stored materials. You don't want to be climbing down onto a pile of junk. Okay? Or climbing up and having to try and get around something or over something at the top. Okay? And it must be secured to prevent movement. There are other kinds of ladders we have as well, platform ladders, trussel ladder, which is one that goes up out of the middle as you unfold it, and a step ladder. Okay? Whenever we're using a step ladder, because we do have them downstairs, we want to make sure that the legs are spread all the way and that the spreaders are pushed down and locked. Okay? We're never going to stand on the pail shelf. You guys know what the pail shelf is?
Top.
Not the top. You know how some of the ladders have that little flip over shelf? You can put the paint on it. They only hold about 25 to 30 pounds. So if you straddle the top of the ladder and step on it, it might buckle and then you'll go down with the ladder. Okay, so we want to avoid doing that. We're never going to stand on the top step. Okay, as far as the Ministry of Labor is concerned, you have to be 3 steps down from the top if you're going to be on a ladder to do something. Okay, And the use of a step ladder is that it's the correct height for the job. Step ladders, we also don't lean up against the wall. Okay? So now that we've looked over some of these things, we're gonna go downstairs, and what we're gonna do is for our deck today, we're gonna need some access. So we're gonna set up an extension ladder, and we're gonna secure it appropriately so that we can leave it there for the duration of the task. Alright? Do you guys have any questions for me? Or better yet, what questions do you have for me?
Would you ever put a cleat at the bottom of the ladder to stop the feet from moving out?
Absolutely, that's what we'll be doing downstairs on the shop floor, because it's made from plywood, it'll be easy to secure the ladder that way. Do you have any other questions? Yes, Brandon?
Just one thing that I didn't see mentioned is that you should always have 3-point contact.
Yes, I was gonna go over that when we go downstairs and climb up the ladder, but it's good that you mentioned it, I neglected it, so good thing you brought it up, I appreciate it. So every time we climb up and down the ladder, we're gonna maintain 3-point contact, that's 2 feet in the hands, or 2 hands and 1 foot. Alright, so off to the shop.